With all due respect, I believe that you're telling the wrong person to wake up. Because based purely off of my observations, at this point, one of two things are true. You are either lying to yourself or you're lying to us. You mentioned in your most recent video that you have people around the world that are reaching out to you, saying that they believe in you and your movement. Are these same people from around the world telling you that they don't hate you, but they hate your president and everybody that voted for him? Are they wishing you well and giving you tips on how to defeat fascism? Is one of those tips to reject the movement that is already in action, tens of millions strong at least, to start your own right before everything collapses? It's not, is it? They're not responding that way at all because it's not logical. It's not logical. Logically, thinking critically about this situation, you and I are both small-time creators, okay? I have, 16,000 followers? You've got a couple thousand? All you are going to do is splinter the movement we already have. That's what you're going to do. And so, if that's not your goal, what is it you think is going to happen? What is your goal? Because logically, what else could your goal be? Do you think you're going to splinter enough away for a whole revolution now before this shit happens? You're not. And I think you know that. You just started your journey on activism weeks ago. You haven't even had enough time to deconstruct if you actually left MAGA, let alone enough time to deconstruct and start leading others. It's wonderful that you want to if your intentions are actually good. But sadly, if you've researched history, if you know what's going on, and again, if you don't, you need to before you start leading people against what's happening. Otherwise, you're going to lead us right back into what we've already done or worse. You have to educate yourself because they don't want the left rising up. And so they send infiltrators, COINTELPRO, where they had the FBI agents go and infiltrate leftist movements, black liberation movements, women's liberation movements, unions. They sent their agents to go in, to infiltrate, to start rumors. And they not only would become members of these clubs to try to splinter it from the inside clubs, organizations, whatever. Not just to splinter it from the inside as members, but they would literally start running them. It got to the point where there were entire chapters of the Black Panther Party that were run completely by FBI agents. Completely. You could look up the FBI documents if you don't know it already. That's the goal. That was the entire goal of COINTELPRO. It was to dismantle them. Each of these. Get rid of the leftists. It's always been about getting rid of the leftists because that doesn't keep the capitalists rich. Standing Rock, Occupy, Black Lives Matter. The government did the same thing to the left in all of these. The same thing. They just repackage it in a new way. And that's the same reason why when I was explaining to you in that video that it took everything for us to come together. Do you have any idea how hard it was? Because the government and their surveillance and their suppression and the companies that work alongside them stifled us. They kept us from it because they learned during the Black Lives Matter movement. They learned how to do it. And they learned why. That's when they did it. So now that's what they do to us. And when MAGA created the Purple Revolution, you guys said that we were doing it. And it's exactly what you're doing for the exact same reasons, it appears, to splinter the movement. And if not, why'd you choose to call it that? Because you were MAGA, so you know exactly what the Purple Revolution was. So what is your motive? You were asked by a friend of mine on here, of a mutual. He asked you where you stand with human rights, where you all stand with it. And your answer was, first we need to come together for policy, and then we can deal with human rights. That has to come later. How is this not exactly what the United States has always done to stop the left when we've gotten too strong? Like, we both get that I, with 16,000 followers, which each one follows me because of politics, We both get that I would not be able to start a revolution right now, right? That's not that would not happen. We understand that? You with 2,000 followers who just switched apparently have a totally different mindset, haven't even deconstructed. Um, do you see where I'm going with this? Because if you're really scared and you really think we need to come together and time is of the essence, you would be unifying instead of trying to splinter and tell everybody who has experience at this point resisting, fighting fascism, creating a movement. You wouldn't be trying to splinter that. Logically, you would not be trying to splinter that. So are you lying to us or are you lying to yourself?